There it is. We're live.
We
Konnichiwa,
back.
bitches.
I like that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start using that as my sign on. You can do the intro, and I'd be like, "Konnichiwa, bitches."
That's right. All right, there we go. Orale. What's up, homies? It's another episode of the Chino and Homeboy podcast. Now, I
Word.
don't know. I don't know if this will be a Wicked Wednesday or Manic Monday or Token Tuesday or
One of those things.
Hot Thought Thursday.
There you go. What's for Friday? Let's see. Fucked up Friday. I don't know.
Oh, right, right.
Fried Fridays.
Fried Fridays. Exactly, exactly. We'll have some kind of a theme.
Uh,
Some kind of
Torch Tuesdays. That's a
Torch
good one.
Tuesdays.
Torch Tuesdays. Yeah. Because we be smoking.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So what are we
So
talking?
just so I went and I purchased the Division 2. After listening to you and Deadeye Lotus talk about it,
Right on.
my ADHD kicked in and impulsively went looking at the Division 2,
Gotcha.
right? And it just happened to be at a discount,
Well, there you
right?
go. How
So
fortuitous. How
so
serendipitous.
yeah. So I mean, I just couldn't say no, right? I was like,
Hmm.
man, if you're a high class escort, selling yourself at Long Beach hooker prices, then fuck yeah, hell yeah,
Right?
you
I
know.
mean, it sells itself. It's like it's not even a choice, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Not even a choice.
Yeah.
Not even a
All right. So
choice.
what you think?
So let me tell you about my journey.
Okay. All right. You tell me about your journey, and I'll expound with whatever I can as far as mechanics, gameplay, what to expect, what to do, builds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. So I downloaded the Division 2,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And I installed it, right? And
Okay.
so my job doesn't have or doesn't allow for you to like use their internet network to,
Mm-hmm.
play video games. I tried.
Right.
I tried.
Right.
Which means that someone at some point, right,
Fucked it up for
use
everybody.
exactly use the network to play video games and fucked it up for everybody. Handful of
Right.
assholes theory in effect.
That's right. In action. Beautifully fucking illustrated.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Otherwise, I could have been that asshole that fucked it up for everybody.
Right. Gotcha.
So and then I was just too busy during the week animating my stand-up special. That's right, people, I got a stand-up special and
My
I'm
man,
animating it all myself.
that's right. My man, homeboy here is a fucking workaholic genius when it comes to making content for you motherfuckers.
That's right, I'm a beast. I'm a beast. We're not
That's
just
right.
pretty tunes doing a podcast here, all right?
That's right.
You know, the wizards behind the curtain, are pretty strong, pretty strong. Big big ball, big dick hanging motherfuckers.
Yeah, like I walk around, I walk around the city. I walk around work like I have massive genitalia, and I do. I got that big dick energy, son.
Yeah, look, I'm surprised. I'm surprised I'm not walking bow-legged from how big my balls are.
Right? Like no, seriously. Like I'll be walking
Like,
around. No,
look,
seriously.
look, I'm hung like the statue of David, but I got big balls.
No, I mean I'll be walking around like even like for example, I'll take the trash out and it's hot outside. I mean it's Vegas, right? It's cooling down a little bit now, so
Right.
we're not hitting triple digits anymore. And it's funny because I'll walk out like in the morning, for example, like I'll walk out, it's like 70 something degrees. I'm like, oh shit, it's kind of chilly. you know.
Right.
Even though my apartment is set to like 75, no, 70, 77. You
Yeah.
know, I'll walk out, it's like 72. I'm like, holy fuck, it's cold, it's chilly,
Yeah.
you know. But then I realized, well, I'm in fucking Vegas. It's usually fucking triple digits here, but it hasn't gone over 95, I would say, in the past week or so. And then looking at the forecast next week, um, it's looking like the highs are going to be in the 80s. So
Right.
we are in, we're slowly approaching the dreaded UGG boot season. So, so yeah, like I've always wondered why the hell do they call it Uggs? Is it because they're ugly? I mean, it makes sense, right?
I'm pretty sure it's an Australian company, and I'm pretty sure that that is how they got their name, was because someone was like, "Why would you want to sell such an ugly boot?" And they're like, "That's what we're calling them, Uggs."
Yeah. You know, one of my favorite shows to watch is Top Gear. For anybody who doesn't know, it's a car show, and different countries and different regions have their own version of Top Gear. There's Top Gear America, which I haven't seen yet, and I kind of refuse to,
Right.
because I'm used to the British version, not the current presenters, but the ones that got the I guess quote unquote original ones.
Yeah.
Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond.
Yeah.
They're not with BBC and Top Gear anymore because
Reasons.
Jeremy Clarkson, yeah, reasons. But I'm not going to expound on that, just reasons. But they're now with Amazon. Actually, they don't have a they don't have a season format anymore. They kind of went away with that, and they just have specials now.
Oh.
But in any case, uh, one of the Top Gear seasons, I believe it's season 18 or 20. Um, they had a special slash challenge in they call it their it's a what was it? Um, they went to the hirsute and manly proving ground of Australia for this challenge. But anyway,
Right. The land
uh,
of Ugg boots.
that's right. Well, they had they had a segment where their quote unquote tame racing driver, um, the Stig, the Stig's Australian cousin or whatever, um, he had to set a track time on this mine. Like they had to go, pretty much had to go around this track, the circuit that they made out of this huge, huge fucking mine,
Yeah.
where most of the steel that goes to China uh, comes from. And what the car that the Stig used in that segment was called, I believe, the Maloo. And so that they got me thinking, like, what kind of weird, cool shit do Australians use to name their stuff? Like what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, the fuck is a Maloo?
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess because their national animal is like the kangaroo.
Right.
I think, right? It's like the kangaroo. So I guess everything has to sound like weird with the ooh at the end, or like the kookaburra, right? I mean, it's just got to have like some weird
Yeah.
name,
Didgeridoo.
right? Didgeridoo, right?
Yeah.
You know,
But yeah. Anyway,
Fosters.
but yeah. Just a public service announcement from your friends here at Chino and Homeboy. If you happen to be in Australia, if you happen to visit Australia, do not order Foster's.
No, don't
Don't
do.
get
No,
what was it, Victoria Bitters? There you
yeah,
go.
and don't tell them to put another shrimp on the Barbie.
Yes,
They don't call them shrimp. They
right.
call them prawns.
Yeah, you don't do that, older. They're gonna fart in your mouth, bro. Don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't fucking
Uh, give me 1 second here.
yeah, do
Give me
your
a
thing.
second.
do your thing. But yeah, Australia was fun. It was. We went to Australia twice in my short but epic Navy career. The first time I wasn't able to leave the ship because I did some shit. Um, I mean, it was it was. I got in trouble, but it was some pretty fucking legendary shit. So, uh,
Oh, Australia? Hell yeah. You weren't there
yeah,
for Perth, but you were there for Darwin. I know that.
yes, I
Yeah.
wasn't there for the good city. I was there for the provincial one.
Yes.
Uh,
Which by the way, Darwin is, while it's at the top end of Australia,
mhm.
and woo!
You just full of gas today.
Oh hells yeah. Um, while it does sound like it's a tiny little village, right? It is
Uh,
small. It is small. There are a lot of foreigners because they use Darwin as their launching point to go
right.
to the rest of Australia. So you'll
Yeah.
meet a lot of interesting people there.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it. I mean, Darwin was actually pretty cool, even though it was small.
Mhm.
But it's a good place to do what Australians and everyone in the rest of the world does best, which is
Get drunk.
drink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there really was. Look. Not sound like an uncultured swine, but I mean, my memories of Australia are kind of hazy. I mean, I remember a few details, like one of our shipmates who I had duty with, who I went drinking with the night before, fucking, you know, passes out in formation during quarters because he was dehydrated. That was the official,
right.
that was the official reason. Shout out to uh, HMC Paul Johnson, may he rest in power.
Yep.
He's the one that, I mean, look, if it was for him, that service member who passed out during quarters would have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
He covered for his ass.
Yeah.
So in any case, yeah, Australia, Ugg boots.
Yep.
Anyway, no, Darwin. We were the
Yeah.
subject of Darwin.
Darwin.
Like I said, my memories are filled with day drinking and night drinking and drinking in the club, uh, fucking and more drinking. So like
Right.
one of
Can't
my
can't
friends, one
can't
of our
forget the fucking.
right, one of our shipmates, Mac 10, we call him Mac 10. That dude was drunk at 10 a.m., bro. Like, god damn. It's like, are you American or you Australian? Because, like I can't at this point I can't tell, but yeah, there's just uh, excuse me, with its provincial setting, you know, and I mean there's a bar in like every fucking corner, you know. Um, I mean, really, the only thing that I could think to do that would be fun for me as a precursor to butt naked was drinking, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I just did a lot of drinking there, and so some of the details a little hazy, but I do remember having a lot of fun, with my friends. I'm not sure you and I hung out very much in Darwin. I think because we were in different duty sections.
Yeah,
But
we were in different duty sections.
yeah,
I hung out with the Reverend,
the Reverend, yeah,
the Reverend Yaz.
Rev was cool. You know what? I kind of I miss talking to that guy. I miss hanging out with him. He was funny. He had that. He had a very mordant sense of humor. It's almost
Yes.
like you don't know that he's joking, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Uh, and there are a few times when he will laugh or he'll crack a smile, so you do know. But in
Yeah.
the times that you don't, you're like, well, I'm just gonna laugh because it sounds funny, even though he
Yeah.
doesn't really react. And that's what's cool about the Reverend Yaz is he was just cool like that.
Yeah.
You know, it almost it almost always sounds like he's cracking a joke about something, but
Yeah.
like I said, you're not sure, so you're like, is this motherfucker serious?
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I'm gonna laugh. you know.
Right. Right.
So, and he was a smart dude actually.
Oh yeah.
He was good at his job, So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So after that digression,
Right.
on with my journey into the Division Two.
Right. Yes. Let's get
So
potatoes of this.
after I felt what is it? I guess I needed a break
Right.
from animating,
Uh-huh.
and so I finally fired up the Division Two,
Hmm.
and I played a little bit of it last night. I played the campaign
Okay.
because you told me play the
Yes.
campaign
Play the campaign. Yep.
so I can get the mechanics. I still don't know how to crouch, right?
So you don't necessarily. Okay. So with a Division 2, there is no crouch movement. There is no crouch mechanic.
Yeah,
The closest thing you have to a crouch mechanic in the game is when you take cover.
right.
So let's say if you're taking cover behind a wall, then you're probably standing, or at
Oh yeah,
least
no, I
sitting
saw
down.
that. I saw that yesterday
But
when I approached those what is it? Those police barricade things, those concrete
mhm,
ones,
yes,
right? I walked up to one because there was some some tangos,
yes, tangles, and yes, exactly.
and I had just learned how to use the space bar to like take cover,
Right?
right? So
Mm,
I approached one of these police barricades and I took cover behind one of them, and he crouched down behind it. And
yep.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's
Hmm.
totally awesome. I mean, I wish they couldn't see the shotgun that was on my back, but
Hmm.
at least I'm behind cover,
There you
right?
go. Yeah, but
And
that's the
then,
closest thing you have to like a crouch mechanic and animation in a division. Oh,
okay,
excuse me. That was a shitty burp. That's like a zero.
that no, there's never such a thing as a zero burp. It's a one. It's a one.
It's a half.
It's a
It's
yeah,
half a burp.
half a burp, half a burp.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so I learned how to take cover. I learned how to do the roll. I learned that you can what is it? You can hurdle. You can like hurdle over shit,
Yes. Yep.
right? So that was cool.
Hmm.
What else? I liked that when you're taking cover, you hit the aiming button, and he like
Yeah.
pops up, and then
Ape down
you
sights. Yep.
let go of the aiming button and he goes back down.
Yep.
That was cool. Yeah, see, that one was the one too because my ass was talking. Um, let's see what else. I liked the recoil. I don't know what the gun is that you start off with, but that thing, right? Like, and it's got to have a weak ass round because I don't know if these motherfuckers are wearing like armored balaclavas or whatever. But
Hmm.
every time I take a headshot, like they wouldn't drop.
Right. So, as far as realism in that regard, I mean, it's not gonna take a whole fucking mag, to kill someone in real life, but in the sandbox and microcosm of this video game,
Yeah,
yes, it might take a few bullets, and that's fine. It's a video game.
yeah,
You should spend your disbelief and you just enjoy it, right?
yeah,
So now the reason I wanted you to the reason I suggested that you play through the campaign instead of using the boost is because yes, it's very important that you learn the mechanics of the game and also the lore, right?
yeah,
So it's actually got a very interesting story.
yeah.
Um,
I wanted to get into that a little bit. Apparently, there's a virus.
yes. Yes, there is a virus. Yes, it is it is a global pandemic. Now, that goes back to the first division game
Right.
where the I think it's called the green poison.
Yeah.
Um, oh no, the dollar flu. It's called the dollar flu. And the reason it's called that is because the virus was created by Gordon Amherst,
Yeah.
and he released it on Black Friday, and I don't remember the year, but it was like it was something recent, like 2009. I don't know, 2015, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it started off with like a few contaminated dollar bills, and it just fucking killed most of the people
Yeah.
in the world. And um, part of your job as a sleeper agent, you get activated, and you're supposed to help restore order to, whatever is left of the government.
Yeah.
So, first game happens in New York during the wintertime.
Yeah.
And like in comparison to the Division Two, I believe, in my opinion, the atmosphere of the first division game is much better.
Yeah.
It feels like, it really feels bleak. It feels like something bad, really just something bad happened.
Yeah.
Like you'll see and like random NPCs, random encounters where people are asking you for help because they're sick. You give them a med kit, you get experience, and they give you something in return, like shit like that.
Yeah.
The movement is smoother with the Division Two. The cosmetic items, I believe, are better with the Division One, and part
Yeah.
of that is the atmosphere. Because you're in New York, it's during the wintertime, there's
Yeah.
snow, so you have these cool like coats and jackets, and you have better clothing items.
Yeah.
Um, some of like the gameplay mechanics are better with Division One, especially after like the end patches, like towards like the real end game, like the final, title updates, um, with the Division One.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but with the Division Two, it's still a work in progress. It's still, they're still trying to balance shit out.
Yeah.
I think they finally achieved that with the 1.8.3 patch 1.8.3 with the first division game. But in any case, with the Division Two, yeah, the reason I suggested that you go through the story is so you can learn the mechanics, so you can learn the lore. And yes, there is it's set during a pandemic, and it's your the main game is set in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
And I believe it's like around spring or summertime. It's a few months after the first game happened.
Yeah.
So you have there's no snow. It's actually like, if you look at what it looks like, it looks sweltering. It looks hot and
Yeah.
humid.
Yeah.
There's like bugs flying around. There's a bunch of things, shrubbery and ferns and
There's puddles on the ground.
yes, yeah, exactly. There's puddles in the ground. There's a lot of trash and stuff. Like in the first division, especially in the place called the Dark Zone, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
You could see like just mountains of like body bags filled with dead people, and some of
Yeah.
them are burning, and because they really, I think they did a good job in showing like, you know, the population is decimated by this virus, the dollar flu, and it killed pretty much everybody, and they did a really good job in making it look like this is dystopian. So, in any case, yeah, the campaign you were saying,
Huh? Oh, yeah. So the
campaign, yeah.
campaign, right? So yeah. So I mean, I'm just a noob, right? Now I wanted to ask a question, right? This
Hmm.
very, very important question.
Hmm.
All right. I fucked up.
How?
Um so there's this shirt that I
Hmm.
wanted for my character,
Hmm.
but instead I'm stuck with like the default one. How do I
Hmm.
switch over to that shirt? This is a very important question.
Right.
Because you got to be happy with the way your character looks. Otherwise, what's the point?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, let me tell you, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm the same way. I'm not, look, I think I spent at least an hour trying to get my face right. And even then, like, I wasn't happy with it,
Yeah,
but by the time but, at that point, I just wanted to play the game. So I just, I made it look, I tried to make it look how I wanted. But,
right,
like I said, like an hour or so passed, and I'm still like fucking customizing the face.
right.
And so I'm like, what, fuck it, I'm just gonna play.
Yeah,
Even to this day, I still want to change it,
yeah,
but I can't change his facial features. So that means I'd have to create a whole nother character,
Yeah.
which means that I would have to start from the beginning, and I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stuck with what I got, and now I have a mask on constantly, just so I can't see his fucked up face. But there is, if you go to what is it? If you press the options button, whatever options button is for PC, you go down and press down. It's like it's the next option down. So you press down, click on that, and that'll give you like your what do you call it? Your cosmetic stuff. You know, you can change your shirts there, but I think you have to be able to uh, either collect them, and I know in the first division game, you can collect them from like the open world. You get random drops, but I think in this
Right.
one you get caches. You know, so you have to open up caches and get your your cosmetic items there, or you can buy them as well using
Right.
textiles, which you get from the game, or you could buy like premium credits. Some cosmetic items you can buy with actual money. You buy, you know,
Yeah.
your premium credits, and some of them, you know, you can buy with textiles. And I believe you get textiles if you start getting duplicate items. You know, so yeah, that's how you change it. Like there is a way to change it. I'll remember and I'll
You know, since I
ex-
just started the game,
mhm.
wouldn't it just be easier for me to just delete the agent and just make a new one?
I mean, you could. It depends. It depends on how what your progress has been so far. I mean, if you've only
I just I just barely got to the White House.
okay, then I mean, it might be a better idea to. Oh, actually, what you can do instead of deleting that one, just
Yeah.
start just start a whole new one. Just make a new one because you can have up to four. And actually three of them. I have four characters, so my character slots are full.
Yeah.
But the other three I'm mainly using for as mules because I have so many fucking items
Yeah.
that I use them as mules. But yeah, you can change the way your agent looks. So any other questions?
Oh yeah. It can you crawl? Is there a crawl feature like
No,
military crawl? No.
there isn't a crawl feature. No,
Oh.
you cannot lie prone. Uh, you can't
Well,
crouch unless
how you supposed to be an effective sniper if you can't lay prone, man?
you crouch down and you pick your shots.
You said you can't crouch.
No, I mean what you crouch by, being against like a low type of barrier.
Oh, okay. All right.
So like trust me, like there is sniping in this game,
Yeah.
um, and you can be really really good at it.
Yeah.
But it's such a I guess a specialized type of um, well, how do you say it's like it's something you have to practice.
Yeah.
Like even the guys that I watch, streamers, even they say, man, I gotta practice with sniping because I suck at it. You
Yeah.
know. But yeah, there you can be a sniper. Um, those Marksman rifles have uh, a very high headshot multiplier. I'm not sure. Yeah, they have the highest headshot multiplier, and the next one below them, below the sniper rifles, the marksman rifles, are the LMGs. So so yeah, you can be a sniper. You just got to practice it, and you got to have a good weapon. Um, and that's the other thing too that you'll learn is not all weapons are created equal.
Yeah.
You um, there are, obviously marksman rifles are for long range engagements, you know, and what people tend to do is because you're engaging from long range, they don't really spec into armor. So it's all damage. It's all weapon damage with weapon damage attributes.
You froze. You
Uh,
froze there for a minute. Last thing we got. The audience and me did not get the important about the Martian rifles.
Yeah, the Marksman Rifles.
Marksman. I thought you said Martian.
Yes. I wish. You got energy weapons, you got pulse rifles, son.
Right?
No, so with marksman rifles, what people tend to do, because you are engaging from a distance,
Yeah.
they don't spec into armor so much. So they spec into weapon damage. So
Yeah.
when you look at your gear, whether it's the mask, chest piece, holster, backpack, knee pads, and gloves,
Yeah.
the main attribute is either going to be um, weapon damage or
Yeah.
armor or a
Yeah.
skill tier.
Yeah.
Now, uh, and we'll get into that as well. But with marksman rifles, what you want to spec into is probably going to be weapon damage because you're engaging from long range. So you don't really need armor.
Yeah.
Uh, the problem with that, though, is that if they know how to strafe and move properly,
Yeah.
they can get close to you. And once they get close to you, you're probably fucked.
Right.
But in any case, you spec into weapon damage and weapon damage or um, what they call weapon or damage attributes. So for
Yeah.
marksman rifles, you'll want, like I said, weapon damage as your main attribute and headshot damage as a minor attribute.
Yeah.
And um, if the piece of gear has it, weapon handling. So that way you can recenter your reticle
Yeah.
faster, and your reticle bloom won't be as high.
The game mechanics feel like Shadowrun.
Does it?
I mean, the way you're talking about like your skill set, right?
Yes.
The way you have your basic skill like rifles.
Hmm.
Then in Shadowrun you can specialize in sniper rifles,
Right.
right? So, you're essentially talking the same thing where, your skill is weapon damage and then
Right.
you're specializing in like headshot damage, right?
Yeah. Well, so and here's another thing. Here's another game mechanic
Woo!
that you have to think about when you're making a build. Builds become important when you hit the end game. Uh, if you have the expansion, it's level 40.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's level 30. You know, so during the campaign, what you're going to try to do, or what you want to do, is just put on put on the gear that has the best stats. It doesn't matter what gear piece it is. It doesn't matter what brand. Just put on the best you got until you hit the end game, whether it's level 30 or level 40,
Yeah.
and then you can start thinking about making builds. So um, you get specialization weapons.
Yeah.
Uh, you have your 50 cal.
Yeah.
That's your this big ass 50 caliber sniper rifle.
Right.
Um,
I'm familiar.
yep, there you go. And then you have your grenade launcher. That's your demolition spec.
Yep.
Uh, your demolition specialization, and you have your crossbow that fires exploding bolts.
All
That's
right.
your survivalist.
Yep.
And then you have what do you call it? I think those are the three that you have initially.
Right.
With the expansion, you get more. And these specialization weapons, you have to level them up as well,
Yeah.
um, because you get different perks with them.
Yeah.
For example, with a sniper one, with a sharpshooter, I
Yeah.
believe it's called. Uh, like I said, you have your 50 cal, which can one shot pretty much anything. But you have to find specialization ammo. Um, One of the perks that it has is it allows you to it increases your weapon handling. No matter what um, weapon you have, your weapon handling is going to be improved slightly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easier to control your weapon. Because
Yeah.
when you start using assault rifles and LMGs, you're gonna have reticle bloom with those automatic weapons. So you want to be able to control uh, how your weapons move.
Yeah.
Now, with a mouse and keyboard, you're gonna be more accurate with your shots than I would with a controller.
Yeah.
And so, as much as possible, you want to hit headshots. It doesn't matter what your specialization weapon is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what weapons you're using. If you're able to hit headshots, you're gonna beast in this game.
Okay.
um, Especially when people use shields.
Yeah.
Um, because usually your head is exposed, or
Yeah.
anyway. So you have those, um, and then you have your different weapon types.
Yep.
Um, Before I move on from the specialization tiers or specialization weapons
Yeah.
and classes, the expansion Warlords of New York.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got that one.
awesome, cool. So with Warlords of New York, you could have boosted your character from level 0 to 30 right away.
Yes.
But like I said, I wanted you to play the campaign so you at least know the lore and get the game mechanics right.
Because I
You
can
know,
still boost my character to 30, right?
yes, you can do it right now if you wanted to.
Well, not yet. I'm gonna delete this agent and just make a new one so I can get the shirt I want.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I don't want that Under Armour shirt. God damn it.
Yeah, but the expansion introduced, I think, uh, three or four new specialization weapons. So you have the originals, which are um, the sharpshooter, the
Yeah.
survivalist with a
Yeah.
crossbow, the
Yeah.
demolition with the grenade launcher,
Yeah.
and then you have the technician spec, which is like a rocket launcher. That's
Yeah.
more for like skill builds.
Right.
And then you have gunner,
Yeah.
which gives you a minigun.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And like I said, all these you got to level up. The special the technician specialization with the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
The perk that gives you is an extra skill tier. Just by equipping it, you get a skill tier,
Yeah.
and that's important for the skills that you have. And we'll get into that as well.
Now, can you I guess cross discipline? Like, can you be a sniper and a frontline grunt? Special, can you like do dual specializations?
You cannot do dual specializations.
Ubisoft, what the fuck, man? I want to be
Yeah.
the ultimate marine. I want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rambo up in this bitch.
Wait, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in Rambo?
I said I want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rambo up
Oh,
in this
and
bitch.
Rambo. Gotcha. I thought you said in Rambo. I'm like, wait a minute, what kind of movie you watching?
Well,
Because I need to watch that shit too.
I mean, it would be nice to have like what is it? Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from Commando
Right?
and Sylvester Stallone's character from Rambo, like both in the same movie. That
Right.
would be pretty badass.
That would be pretty fucking badass. Yeah. But no, to answer your question, no, you cannot. You cannot have two specializations equipped at the same time. So you have to pick and choose, and that's where builds come in when you get to the end game.
Yeah,
So so you have the gunner specialization in the expansion, which gives you a minigun, and that increases your uh, what is it? Um, like every few seconds or so, like every 30 seconds, like
yeah,
your whatever guns you have, you get ammo. Like
yeah.
it'll like refill your ammo.
Right. I
And
have a question.
then
I have a question.
yes,
All right. So these agents you have in reserve, right? Your mules,
hmm
right?
yes,
So let's say I make an agent and I specialize his ass in the sniper rifle or sniper shit, right?
hmm
I can specialize the other agents into different other shit, right?
yeah, you can
Okay.
choose to do that. You can choose to do that. Like each character has, um, you can save up to 15 loadouts with each character.
Okay.
So your loadout is, I'm sure like the weapons that you have on, your specialization class, and the pieces of gear that you have equipped, and the skills that you're using. So you
Right.
have up to 15. So you could have potentially like 60 loadouts.
Yeah.
You know, So like for whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, I want to clarify. All right.
Hmm.
The Division Two version I got from Ubisoft is I got the Division Two Ultimate Pack, right?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
was like 24 or $25,
That's a
right?
hell of a steal, bro.
Right?
Because the expansion alone, the Warlords of New York, which comes with the Ultimate Edition,
Yeah.
is $24.
Yeah.
So, or
And
20, 24, 29.
now I got suckered into buying that one because they advertised the Division Two for $5.
Right.
Now that's pretty badass. Like, just the
That's a good deal.
the basic game without the expansion pack
Yeah.
and all that shit is $5.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
I
mean,
was like,
it's a good thing that you got the Ultimate Edition anyway, because without the Ultimate Edition, then the three extra specializations that they released wouldn't be available to you.
yeah,
And there are a lot of people who use um, who make builds that use those specializations, and they're critical because you wouldn't be able to have uh, the talents and perks that you would normally have if you didn't have those, if you didn't have the expansion, so it's a good thing that you got that one,
yeah,
because when we start talking about builds, like the most effective ones, or at least the quote unquote meta ones,
yeah,
use those the expansion only specializations,
right.
so yeah. um, But anyway, let's move on from the specializations to what else you got? What questions you got? Let's see if I can.
Uh, let's see. We covered getting a new shirt,
Right. Start a new character.
how to become a sniper.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lay prone or crouch.
Mm-hmm.
It's set in a pandemic. By the way, this game came out in 2019,
Yes.
before the pandemic hit
Before
us.
pandemic. Yeah.
And I gotta say that there was a smirk came across my face when I found out that there was a pandemic going on in the game at the time, and I'm
Yep.
like, that that is just ironic.
Yep. You know what? Let's talk about skills. Um,
Oh,
Especially because you're
so yeah. So this character in particular, I got him that sniper drone.
sniper drone or sniper
Yeah, like
turret.
there's like these this little drones that they like put out, right?
Oh,
You
gotcha. Yeah.
know?
So
Yeah,
that's the striker drone. So
right.
what the striker drone does is it picks a target, and you can send that drone out to go damage that target. Um, your skills will do more damage and will have more effect the more skill tiers you have.
Okay.
So for example, if I'm running, if I want to have my striker drone do more damage and kill my targets faster,
Yeah.
then I would want to spec more into skill tier. And so that's where it's like you kind of have you need to find a trade-off. So um, you have when you get to the end game, you'll have what Deadeye Lotus was talking about, like skill builds.
Yeah.
Now, what makes the game imbalanced currently, and what makes the game kind of dry right now, is the fact that um, for PVE, that means player versus environment, when you're playing against NPCs,
Yeah.
skill builds are great. It's one of the better ones to use to farm. It's one
Yeah.
of the better builds to use to just kind of solo stuff.
Yeah.
You know, once you get to the harder contents, you'll want to have an effective skill build so you can farm for the gear that you need. Farming is, the term that they use for, like it's like you're farming crops, right? You're trying to
Yeah.
get crops that you want. So farming in this game is you're trying to get the gear that you need. And
Yeah.
sometimes you get lucky and get it right away. Sometimes, you can go like an entire fucking year and not get the one that you want.
Yeah.
And that's where like playing with others come into play, because the more people you have in your party, you can have up to four, the more chances you'll get, because it scales up. The difficulty and the amount of NPCs that spawn scales up to whatever you have in your party.
Yeah.
And what you can do is whoever's in your party, you can let them know, hey, I'm looking for this. If it drops for you, and if you can spare it, you know, please give it to me, or some
Yeah.
shit like that. You know what I mean? I've had people do that for me, which is cool. And it's another cool thing about this game is that while there is toxicity, like for the most part, um, toxicity, people talk shit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part, there are a lot of helpful players that
Yeah.
you can group up with, and they'll help you out. There's even a mechanic in the game called being a Sherpa, or being a shepherd. Let's say you die, right? There's an option there for you to call for backup, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people will join your session to shepherd you, to help you out.
Yeah.
So that's cool. um, if people do that, if people do that for you, the noble thing to do is to endorse them after they help you out. I mean, they went out of the way, they help you out to like help you kill the boss or help you farm. It's just, it's the best thing to do is is endorse them and thank them. So
Right.
in any case, yeah. um, what was I talking about? That's before I got
Uh,
from the shepherding thing.
I don't know. I like
Oh,
that.
skill builds, skill
Yeah.
builds. Yeah, so when you get to the end game, one of the best things you can do is put together a skill build. I'll do a write up for you,
Yeah.
and I'll also do. I'll send you to. I'll send you a few links on what kind of builds to um, I guess copy, or for lack of a better term, copy, or at the very least use as a template.
Right.
Uh,
I had a
so
question. All right. I have a
yes,
question. I hate to
yes.
interrupt. I
No, no,
understand
no.
that, but I got a question.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, so I tried to use my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot,
Mm-hmm.
to a work as a workaround from using my place of employment's network,
Uh-huh.
and obviously it was terribly, terribly slow.
Right.
Woo!
God damn, son.
I know it's the coffee. It's the poo juice.
It's the poo juice.
It's right. Um, so that was really, really slow. So when I
Uh-huh.
finally fired it up yesterday, right, like the game crashed a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't sure. It's not my hardware, right? It's got to
No.
be the Wi-Fi signal that's causing the crash, right?
Well, I mean, so okay. Um, if you look at the specs of your laptop, I mean, I don't see a reason why your gaming laptop wouldn't be able to run the Division 2,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So
I don't see a reason either. That's the reason why I'm
yeah.
like, why is this going slow? Because I know that you have to connect to Ubisoft's servers in order for you
Hmm.
to be able to, play this game.
Now, was it slow or did it crash? Because there's a huge difference.
It crashed. It crashed. It's not slow. Like when I finally got it like fired up,
Hmm.
it wasn't slow at all. Like it was definitely it was going fine.
Like
But
when
it did crash twice.
it crashed, as in like the
Like
application crashed.
like the application tells me it crashed. Like, hey, I'm out this bitch. Restart me.
Gotcha. Well, just I guess clear your cache, defrag if you need to, um, and close all processes. But like I said, I don't think your laptop is going to have any problems with running the game. So it probably is, like like a delta error, because it can't connect to the server. You're going to want a
That's
faster
a
connection.
delta. That's a delta error.
Yes, it's what they call a delta error, is when you
Oh, that's what.
disconnect.
Yeah, that's what it called itself. It called itself delta error.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
know what that meant.
that
So
that means you can't connect to the server for a reason, and it's probably because you're using your phone's hotspot. So as much as possible, you want to
no,
connect.
I was using the regular Wi-Fi when I was getting my Delta era, using the Wi-Fi at home
When did you what time were you playing?
last night.
Okay. Because there was a hot fix that was released, I believe, a couple days ago. Because this latest server maintenance, something happened to where people's characters started becoming invisible and disappearing because of two pieces of gear. The BTSU gloves. It's an exotic piece of gear.
Yeah,
It's a glove,
yeah,
and the waveform holster. It's an exotic holster, and they're
yeah,
both primarily used for skill builds.
yeah.
And so they hot fixed it. And there's actually a global event going on right now uh, where you meet certain criteria and you get prizes. You get rewards, and it's a very good way of getting exotic items. Exotic
Right.
items are essentially like the best pieces of gear in the game. You have
Yeah,
exotic weapons and exotic gear.
yeah,
And so it gives you like ridiculous perks.
yeah.
So there are some better than others, and depending on your build, some of them, uh, some builds that I use don't have any exotic uh, weapons or items,
Yeah.
but most of the two main builds that I use um, have at least one exotic item in them. So anyway, I'm not sure exactly why it crashed. But if it's a Delta error, that means you can't connect to the servers for whatever reason, whether
Right.
it's not fast enough, or the servers just might be down.
Now, how do I
So
get a hot fix?
that's server side. That's not client side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they released a hot fix, or at least if they haven't released it yet, they're working on a fix
Yeah.
because it's causing people's characters to get deleted. So can you imagine like spending like fucking hundreds, even thousands of hours playing this game, and suddenly
Yeah.
your fucking tune is gone?
Yeah.
That's frustrating as hell. I would beat someone. I would fart in someone's mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I can understand that.
I would send a fucking email to the devs and say like I'll fight every single one of you if you don't fix the shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially
So
since you got to pay to like be for their yearly pass and shit.
right, yeah. So
Which by the way, the ultimate pack, includes a year pass.
there you go. So I mean, for $24, that's a good fucking deal, bro.
Hell yeah,
You
man.
know.
Hell yeah. What was that?
Mm. I'm taking a drink out of my water and it hit my mic.
Oh,
It
I'm like,
squeaked.
that was a weird fart.
Yeah, it hit my pop filter and it squeaked. So I'm like, oh, let me move that.
Oh, gotcha,
Um,
gotcha.
but yeah, keep it coming with questions. I'll answer whatever I can.
So far that's all I got. I kind of want to get to playing this game so I can start to delete the agent and start working on these builds. Now, I do have a question about this thing, right? So I was
Hmm.
introduced to, the tier 1 shit, right? Now, I got the little sniper drone. Should I, when I restart this bitch, instead of going for the little sniper drone thing, like put
Hmm.
that into something, put that whatever that thing, what are the that skill tier into something else?
You can. What's cool about the striker drone is that it not only does it damage your target, but it also kind of distracts them. So if they're shooting and are preoccupied with the striker drone, then they're not going to be shooting you. You know what I
Right.
mean? So let's say you have multiple targets. You could send your striker drone to go attack uh, one NPC while you're murking the other one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's helpful, right? Um, Towards the end game when you're doing, especially when you're doing PvP, um, the striker drone is, unless you have like uh, a tier 6 striker drone with overcharge, they become more of an annoyance than anything else.
Yeah.
But uh, there are some players who have, these ridiculously overpowered skill builds, and they can kill you with it. But for the
Yeah.
most part, you know, uh, that specific type of skill build is usually reserved for PVE. Um,
Okay.
so, but you can equip different skills as you unlock them.
Right.
I think the drone has 4 or 5 different kinds. You have the striker drone, which is it goes out and like follows your target and shoots them.
Yeah.
Um, you have your defender drone, which essentially blocks for you and halves the damage that you get.
Yeah.
You have your fixer drone, which heals you,
Yeah.
and then you have your spotter drone. That one that one's unique to the sharpshooter specialization,
Yeah.
where what it does is it quote unquote it does this thing. It pulses your target. Now a
Oh.
pulse,
Oh. Hold on a second. Yeah. Keep talking.
yeah,
Go
a
ahead. Keep
pul
talking.
a pulse is another skill uh, that you can use. So and you also have like different kinds. So what a pulse does essentially is that um, when you pulse a target, it increases your critical hit chance and your critical hit damage uh, to that target. So you essentially do more damage. Um, the the pulse drone,
Yeah.
the pulse drone, what it does is it pulses a specific target. So when you're a sharpshooter, when you're a sniper,
Right.
it allows you to do even more damage to your target. So that's a neat thing to have, especially when you have like one shot sniper build.
Yeah.
Because it focuses on that one. It tells you where it's at. It tells you where your target's at, and it gives you stats, I believe. With whenever it pulses your target, so
Oh.
uh-huh.
I do have a question.
Hmm.
When you're not in the aiming mode, right, and your character is shooting from the hip,
Hmm.
like, uh, how does that work? Like, is it like auto aim or something, or what?
Not necessarily, so obviously because you're hip firing, you're not going to be as accurate, but you can
Yeah.
still damage your target.
Yeah.
um and so yeah, it just works that way. uh there is some sort of aim assist. I'm not sure if it works with hip firing or not, but when you're aiming down
Yeah.
sights, especially in with consoles, the aim assist is definitely higher
Yeah.
and with consoles, because obviously you don't have pixel targeting like you would with a mouse and a keyboard. you
Yeah.
know that's the biggest advantage you have when it comes to uh, mouse and keyboard, is that you know you can be more accurate with your aiming.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can hit fire, but it's not going to be as accurate.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta go get these ginger pigs. I have asked more questions, but I'm gonna go play this bitch now.
All right. Great thing. I'm waiting for the uh, kids to wake up, because they're probably gonna want to play too. You
Right.
know, they like playing with my character, because I have pretty good equipment. I mean, I don't have all the equipment that I want, but for the most part, I have two specific builds that they like to use, because they're pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah.
and they got a lot of kills with them. So yeah, we're all kind of PV. We're at this point we're PvP centric.
Nice.
We're kind of done with right now anyway. We're kind of done with PvE and farming unless there's something I really really want or need. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm not even at max shade level yet. That's
Yeah.
you'll get there after you do the expansion.
Yeah.
You'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And but yeah, do your thing. I'm gonna go do my thing. And
Yep.
yeah,
All right.
sorry, folks. No Hey Jones today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently,
No, he's still
maybe later on, maybe we'll do another one when he wakes up. You know,
exactly.
I'm sure he's gonna
Exactly.
want to do one because
Yeah.
I know he's got some stuff to say about uh different subjects.
Oh yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, just but yeah,
Stay
we'll
tuned.
yeah, stay tuned. Exactly. Um, before we go, let's do shout outs. Any
Yeah.
shout outs you want to do?
Nope. Nope.
No?
Oh, I did want to mention my boy Austin finally got his second Pfizer shot.
Right on.
So he
You
now
still alive?
has, yep, he's still alive, and he's got Moderna, Johnson and Johnson. He's got Pfizer. So he's on the road to becoming Thanos. Everybody.
God damn. All right.
He still has
Well,
to get AstraZeneca and some other one, but he's got to travel to the UK for those.
AstraZeneca, fucking ivermectin, hydrochloroquine,
Right?
all the
Exactly.
kitchen sink, a la Joe
That's right.
Rogan.
That's right.
Okay. Well, if you don't have any more shout outs, I'd like to do mine.
Yep.
First of all, my man Tim Chapo at Santoya's Barbershop, once again, keeping me fresh. You have no idea how many people, like at the gym, at work, they're like, bro, nice haircut. Who's your barber? And I'm like, go to Santoya's Barbershop, go see my man Tim Chapo, best motherfucking barber here in Vegas. My opinion. And it's my world, you can't have it. So it's,
Right.
he's the best. Also, once again, uh, my good friend Deadeye Lotus he hasn't been online lately. He's taking a quick break from the Division Two because as we discussed last week, content's a little dry, especially with these status effect skill builds that fucking like you kill people without even having to shoot your fucking gun, and it's a gun game, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But shout out to Deadeye Lotus. Shout out to the rest of the AAM clan. Cold Boy, who streams almost daily. Check out his stream on Twitch. Check out Deadeye Lotus's stream on Twitch as well. Unknown Ones You Won. He's also part of AIM. Gage Grizzly. He's a active duty military who is also in AIM. AIM. Smurf Tryhard. God Deletes. All them boys. Also, he's not part of AIM, but he's a good guy. He's a he's a good player, cool dude. Shout out to uh, Kokev, KOK_EV. He plays mostly on Xbox, but good dude, cool guy. Always, he's always nice on stream. He's a mod just like I am. So shout out to those guys. And that's all I got.
All right. All right. Follow
Check
us on
out.
Instagram. What?
Yes. No, I was gonna say. I, I was gonna say the exact same thing you were gonna say.
Oh,
So keep going.
that's right. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter. We, yeah. What is it? Hopefully, we can get the shop up. If it's not up by the time you hear this, and you guys can start helping us get weed money by buying our shit.
That's right.
Christmas time is coming. You're gonna want to get these people some fucking gifts, son.
There you go.
We're gonna
There
try
you
to make
go.
them as affordable as possible, but again, you got to get that weed money.
Yep.
Uh,
Exactly.
let's see what else. That's it. Oh, check out the YouTube channel. Uh, watch some of our other videos. We've been slacking on the video making, but we're hopefully gonna try and fix that sometime soon.
Yeah. I mean,
And
Homeboy's been busy with a stand-up special, so it's
yeah,
understandable.
yeah. So
You know,
I'm
I'm the one
only
who's fucking slacking.
I'm only one man, I only got 24 hours in a day, just like everybody else. So I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm trying.
Yep.
You know,
Uh,
work gets in the way of shit.
that's right. That's right. Also, our Discord. We're gonna post that up as well. The link to the
Oh,
Discord.
that's right.
So hit us up there. You know, join in the conversation. You know, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, hit us up there.
Yep.
And you know, we'll set it up.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Hopefully, next time we'll have. I think Dixie. What is it? What it is? I forgot. I forgot what it was. The nickname he used last time, but he's dead
yeah,
meat. Dead meat on Discord.
yeah,
And hopefully we're gonna try and get him on. And we've got some other people that have been waiting in the wings to come on the podcast, but you know,
yeah,
scheduling conflicts and shit like that.
yep.
We got lives, people. We can't be entertaining you 24/7.
We're definitely trying to though.
Yeah, yeah, we're working toward that. Working toward that.
Yeah, the
So
end goal is, you know, 24/7 Chino and Homeboy.
that's right. That's right.
So,
24/7 Chino and Homeboy. We're working on it, people. We're working on it. We're
yep.
getting closer. Every day we get one step closer to achieving the Chino and Homeboy lifestyle, son. All right.
Right.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna forget who the Kardashians are eventually.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna be so into the lifestyle. We're gonna become meta.
That's right. Meta is the goal.
That's right. Meta is the goal. Meta is the goal. All right. Until next time, homies. Peace.
Peace.